Hi everyone, I am Sarah and I just started this page called Caring for Kerrie. Me and my family recently adopted unwillingly an 8-year-old Maremmano Sheepdog. This dog was my elderly neighbor's dog and she is very sick and was able to care for this dog, was unable to feed and water her because she's so fragile. And Kerrie is 120 pounds. Kerrie was living outside. She's been living outside for the past year and she was severely matted a few days ago. We were able to take care of her and take her to PetSmart and get her all shaved because the matting was so bad. Kerrie entered our lives on July 5th when she just rounded our fence in the backyard and my daughter found her and she was panting like crazy. It kind of sounded like she was wheezing or having an asthma attack. So we slowly cooled her down, got her some water. About an hour later, we found out our neighbor 2 doors down was the owner. So we've been helping her out ever since, going over there, watering and feeding Kerrie and just taking care of her. But last night she ended up at our house due to unforeseen circumstances. Kerrie is, like I said, she's a large breed. She used to live in a farm and she used to take care of the sheep. That was her job. She lived outside, lived with the sheep and guarded them and made sure they were safe. Her main owner, who was a man, and the owner's husband recently died about 2 years ago actually, and they were best of friends. So Kerrie's kind of been a little bit down about losing her best friend. So now we have her. She has a papilloma on her front right paw, and we're gonna try to get that removed because it's huge. It's like the size of a baseball. It's not hurting her, but you can tell it's like she has something on her paw and she keeps trying to wag it off. We also got her bed and we're gonna be feeding her. Thank God she's up to date on all of her vaccines and her heartworm, tick, flea medicine. We have about 6 months supplies, but this is actually not gonna be a long-term solution for Miss Kerrie because we have our 1-year-old dog Luna and they just do not get along. Kerrie is an older lady and Luna is a hyper little puppy and Kerrie just doesn't really wanna tolerate her as Luna would like. So we are putting Kerrie in the basement when it's time to come inside and relax. It's nice and cool down there. It's quiet for her and she has her own bed and space. And then we're just alternating her and Luna outside. Luckily, thank God, we have a big enough home to where we can maneuver them around without them crossing. Our dog Luna is in no distress whatsoever. She barely even realizes the dog is here unless she can physically see her. So she is comfortable, not stressed out at all. And I was making this page to kind of raise awareness for Kerrie. We are looking for a foster. She would most likely do better in a only dog home. So she can be the only dog in the home. She is very low activity, low maintenance. She's not really a go on a leash and walk type of girl. I don't think she's ever had toys. She didn't at her owner's house and she hasn't really seemed interested here. She does get along well with me. She gets along very, very well with my husband, who is tall and a bigger man. So that doesn't scare her. I think it reminds her of her previous owner. And she also gets along well with my 11-year-old daughter. She loves being petted, but she also is kind of a lay on her own and have her own quiet time type of girl. We do have a 4-year-old boy and we are gonna slowly introduce them, see how that is. But I'm sure she'll kind of be like, not a fan if you're gonna run around and play near me. So we'll most likely be keeping them separate as well. So I'm going to create a GoFundMe. If you would like to send any funds on caring for Kerrie, we are unsure how long she'll be with us. We do know we have to get this paw fixed. We have to get her to the vet and then hopefully they can do surgery. Surgery on animals is a lot, obviously, because there's no pet insurance. We will most likely have to buy her food because, like I said, she's 120 pounds and she needs senior food and food to help her hips and mobility. Because she is older, we want to keep her hips and her joints feeling good for her. So, like I said, we already bought a new bed, so we will be using a lot of expenses on this dog, so any amount can help. I'm going to put the GoFundMe link down below, and she is resting right now in the basement. It's her first time in the basement, so I'm going to let her get used to her surroundings. My husband's with her, spending time with her, and I'm going to share some pictures in another video of what she looked like when we found her and what she looks like now. Just so you can get an idea of her progress, and hopefully we'll be able to share more on a daily basis. Thank you.